What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Nemo Propaganda here, and we're going to cover Axpona 2025. This is day one. I covered most of the rooms, not all of them, so part two will be coming tomorrow. I did this year a little bit different. I didn't upload every single room I filmed. If I wasn't interested in the gear for one reason or another, I deleted the content. I figured, hey, I don't want to waste your guys' time if I don't know what I'm looking at, right? So here we go. Let's kick it off. The first room you're going to see in a second here that I was really hyped about was the live room. When I found out their mono blocks were going to be on display, I had to see them. This was one of the first rooms I came to. Look how small those things are. I cannot wait to get a review sample. This room sounded fantastic. It was a full live front end, their DAC, their preamp, their mono blocks. It was awesome. Speaking about small, look at this little Perlison subwoofer, guys. That's an 8-inch. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Fidelity Imports is the importer and distributor. Super nice people. They've been willing to work with me for a long time now. Just Perlison gear is so big and so heavy. I haven't been able to do it, but they got an 8-inch now. This is this is a RBH. Guys, this room had so much bass. RBH is really, really good at setting up their rooms at trade shows. They crush it. Of course, Monacoustics being powered by Accuphase. This room sounded incredible. Guys, drop a comment. Do you want to see me review the bass module for the Platamon? I kind of want to do it. I own the Platamon. I love that speaker. I'm tempted to review the bass module. Cashelli Labs. This room had so much flavor. I love the way they set it up with all the lights. It looked super cool. It was a total vibe. The gear sounded fantastic. You guys know they make, DACs and integrated amps, all kinds of stuff. It's affordable and it's good. Neil Blanchard design. Look, that little speaker all the way on the left with that little 4-inch driver. That thing got down to 30 hertz in the room. It was insane. You buy the design from Neil, you build the speaker yourself. Few $100s is all it takes. Incredible stuff. This is the Marantz room. These monoblock amps you're going to see on the floor here, those are actually integrated amps that are set up in monoblock mode. That's a new flagship piece of theirs. It looked incredible. It sounded incredible. I had to get it on camera. Hopefully I'll review one of the more modern Marantz amps in the future. DVLA, look at that simplistic setup. Oh my God, the room sounded amazing, and there was hardly anything to be seen. It was beautiful. ELAC. They demoed their inexpensive speakers as well as some more expensive stuff. Both sounded fantastic, and they weren't powered by esoteric amps either. The amps in the rack were about $1,700 a piece, I believe. Wharfdale. I've never worked with this brand directly, but I did leave them with my business card. Maybe we can get a relationship going and I can review some of their stuff. Rel, of course, you guys know I've reviewed almost all their subwoofers by now. They all sound fantastic. They had a second part to their room with a 6-pack, and I had to get that on camera. Also, you guys know it's so rare to see a 6-pack of Rel subwoofers, so I had to film it, of course, but this room sounded fantastic. Looks like they had Wilson Audio in there also. So this is a Lingdorf room, and I got this on camera and filmed it because look how shallow that speaker is. That's a very unique design. You don't normally see speakers this shallow. Guys, stereo integrity. This is a dual opposed 24-inch subwoofer. It was on the 3rd floor, and you could hear it from the lobby. This was insane. Stereo integrity. Check them out. They got a 24-inch driver. This is Wire World. They sell a ton of inexpensive cables on Amazon. I didn't know they had a higher end offering. I didn't know they had more premium offerings. So I just wanted to film this and share this with you guys. I thought they only made cheap stuff, but look, they got tons of really nice looking cables. I had no idea. Magnapan, you guys already know, amazing speakers. I talked to these guys. They're super cool. I'm going to try to review one of the smaller ones. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Nemo Propaganda saw a big amplifier, and I had to film it. I got a thing for big amplifiers. I'll never own one because I can't own something that big and heavy and expensive probably, right? But I gotta film them. Whose room is this? What made me film it? Oh, Paradigm. These people are super cool, guys. Their rep was so cool. I'm gonna try to review maybe their XR11 subwoofer in the future. We'll see. Guys, look at this amp. You already know why I'm filming this room. Pathos amplifier in the building. Yep, this is one of Upscale Imports' room by their distribution company, Harmonia. This is another one of the Harmonia rooms, showing off some tube amplifiers. Why is the name escaping me? Prima Luna, geez. Sorry, guys. I thought this was a Klipsch room. It might be a Klipsch room. I'm not sure. But either way, I filmed it. This is definitely a Klipsch room with some La Scalas, big, beautiful speakers. Had to put some respect on Klipsch's name and get their speakers on camera. YG Acoustics speakers with Zesto tube amplifiers. This was such a good pairing. These sounded really great. Both products are fantastic. Again, that's Zesto amplification, YG Acoustics speakers. Arcam. This room was it was simple. It looked good. There wasn't a lot going on, but it sounded fantastic. Good modern look. Look at this speaker. Look how deep that speaker is, guys. This is Odyssey Audio. I'd love to review one of their amplifiers, but I'm going to be honest, they don't need me to review their amplifiers. They sell like hotcakes, but that speaker was just so interesting. CSS. This isn't going to surprise anyone. This room sounded great. The speakers looked great. They were finished in that beautiful blue. CSS speakers, if you don't know, guys, they got a ton of bass. This room was a simple one. I saw some kind of unique stuff with these, these panel speakers and these open baffle subwoofers. It had a very effortless sound, as one may expect. This is another room, guys, that I just started filming because I saw big amplifiers. This was MSB. This is high-end stuff. The price is not for the faint of heart, but it looked incredible. This speaker was thumping. They were playing this thing fairly loud. It had a massive sense of scale. It was hard to get good lighting on it, so I got a second clip coming up in a second where you'll see it just a little bit more up close. Here we go. It was finished beautifully. I don't know what it cost, but man, the sense of scale was huge. Triangle. They've got a finish on, not this one. Wait for this bookshelf. It was so good, I went back and I filmed it a second time. It's like this kind of this bluish color. You're going to see in a second. Here's that second clip up close. It's like a blue with some hints of gray to it with this gloss. This was incredible. Beautiful. Parts Express, you guys know I got to put respect on their name. Parts Express sells a lot of DIY kits as well as just all kinds of parts. Whether you need a terminal plate, a raw driver, a tweeter, they've got it. This is the Fosse audio room. Nothing impressive to look at, but I gotta admit, it sounded pretty darn good. They had all their little amps on display, and I mean it, guys. That room sounded clean. I'm not familiar with this brand, but just wait and you see this amplifier. Look at this chassis. I thought this was so cool. I love unique looking stuff like this, how it's kind of notched out like that. This was just a beautiful room. Look at that equipment rack. Look at this speaker. It's straight out of Super Mario. If you got that reference, LOL, you know what I'm saying? Whose room is this? Nemo Propaganda forgets sometimes, guys. I lose track. Some stuff I just film because it looks cool. Other stuff I film because I'm familiar with the brand. Guys, this speaker was so small. That was like a 2.5-inch driver. That's not what the room was for. It wasn't for the speakers, but they were just so small. I was like, dude, I got to film this. This is Raw Drivers, SB Acoustics. There might be some other ones in there. This was a distributor that sold a lot of Raw Drivers. They had a couple of rooms I filmed. More Raw Drivers, Got the Purify right there. They got the big one. I don't know if that was a 10-inch. I didn't know they made that Ushindi woofer in such a large size. All right, this room was interesting. Look at the shape of this cabinet. This was so unique. Fairly expensive for the full-size one. The bookshelf was $6,000 though. Maybe I'll review it. I don't know. This one just reminded me of a La Scala, so I was like, I'm going to film this. Maybe some other people will think this is interesting. Probably esoteric stuff. Why did I film this room? Did it just look good? Yeah, you know what? I don't know whose room this is, but I've seen them at a few trade shows. Their stuff always looks good. It's this unique design with a little ribbon speaker, kind of like in glass above the main woofer. And it's just so unique. This was another speaker I thought was pretty unique. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I see so many rooms. There's no way for me to remember what brands these are, but it looked so cool. This was just another big amplifier room. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I saw a big amplifier on the floor, and I just started filming. Look how big this speaker is, guys. This thing was huge, giant. Just the whole thing's made out of wood. It looked incredible. This is the Dart Zeal room. I was surprised they showed out so small this year. Last year they had a whole, massive room on the first floor. This year, a little small room, but their gear's pretty nice, pretty expensive too. Guys, I filmed this one just for the bling. You guys know I'm not into vinyl, but I mean, look at that equipment. Look at those turntables. Incredibly beautiful. This stuff looked so cool. If I was into vinyl, I'd want a turntable like that. I don't know what it costs, but wow. This was another big amplifier situation. Look at that thing in the corner. It's just like saying hello. There's another one on the other side. I'm not joking, guys. When I see big boxy amplifiers like that, maybe it's because I can't own them because they're so big, so heavy, and so expensive that I like to see them, This is the R-Ender room. I hope I got it right. Last year, I think I called them Aralac by accident. Love how they show their equipment off with the plexiglass tops at the trade shows. I think it's super cool. Their stuff is not cheap, but I mean, you look at the parts inside, and I mean, they're putting some stuff in there, Wilson with R-Ender, it was beautiful. Sounded good too. No surprise there. Pearl, with their single driver transmission line. Dyne Audio. Of course, this room sounded fantastic. Dyne Audio always knows what they're doing. Big fan of their products. I love the way Dyne Audio does treble. It's something about the attack. It's layered well. It's refined. And that's on any of their speakers, even the inexpensive stuff. This is Atoll and Atome speakers. I left my business card with them, and I think I want to review one of these little speakers, guys. Martin Logan, no surprise, had to pull out my camera. This room sounded great. They got that big open sound and still a lot of fullness and bass because they do have little subwoofers in them at the bottom. Hagel, lots of, I didn't know they had this many products, guys. They had another room next door that was a demo room. Also sounded fantastic. Look at that big beefy amp. This was the rest of the Hagel room that was actually doing the demo. This room just looked good. Like, look at that rack, just simple. Stuff's matching. Here we got Gershom Acoustics. You guys know who they are. They got a few different models. This is one of their towers. I've never really heard their stuff outside of trade shows, but it's got a unique look. They're from Canada. Magnapan. I met these guys for the second time, and you know what? They actually remembered me. I'm going to try to get a Magnapan review going. They said my room is not too small to review their stuff. That was Lumen and Kef. Sorry, I didn't speak on that before. This is another Lumen room. They had a couple of rooms. I always think their stuff looks so good. It's compact. I've never heard it in my space, though. AGD, really, really nice amplification. Would love to check it out. The price is not for the faint of heart, though. It's stuff's expensive. Look at this room, guys. Look at this room. This guy treated that's a hotel room. He treated his entire hotel room. Big respect to this man. Big respect. The most beautiful room in the whole show, just by the way he set it up. Look at that huge amplifier. Oh, my goodness. This room was crazy, guys. It looked so good with all the treatment, all these wood slats. I had to take a picture. These speakers look like little robots to me. Yeah, that's why I filmed them. They looked like little robots, like out of Star Wars. Look at this. What is this? That's a speaker, guys. It's a tower of drivers. It actually sounded pretty good. There was a lot of people in the room, so I couldn't really spend a lot of time in there. But you like open baffle? There you go. That's as open baffle as it gets, guys. This was a horn-loaded speaker. I didn't see too many giant horns at this year's Axpona. Last year there was a ton, but it sounded big. It sounded effortless. Can anyone guess why I filmed this room? Maybe that giant big blocky amplifier on the floor. Again, I got to think for stuff like that. This was the Kanto room. They had all their stuff on display. Kanto makes great, inexpensive speakers. They got some stuff that's a little pricey too, but most of their stuff's very reasonable. They got that clean and clear sound. They got a little subwoofer too. It's good stuff. Whose room was this? Sonar? Yeah, Songer Audio. This room sounded good. I'm not familiar with this brand, but the stuff looked nice. Franco Serblin Towers. This is an Access Audio room. They have always got really, really nice equipment in their rooms. These guys do not mess around. If you're into high-end, check out Access Audio. They've got options, whether it's Franco Serblin, loudspeakers, or AccuPhase amplification. You like high-end, Access Audio is for you. This is a cutaway of a Yamaha tower. I thought it was fairly brave of them to show us that, This is their newer line of speakers. I didn't really leave them my business card. I'll be honest, I just kind of felt like, they're too big of a company. It's just going to be too much of a pain in the butt to figure out who the right person is. Q Acoustics, imported by Fidelity Imports. Unico, amplification, again with the plexiglass tops for the trade show. I love when brands do this. This stuff all looks incredible. I kind of want to check out a Unico amp. The stuff looks incredible, man. Q Acoustics for the speakers. Fidelity Imports rooms always look fantastic. And they got a bunch of rooms. I think they had 8 or 9 rooms this year. Wilson Benesch, such a unique design. Look at this. Wait. Another driver on the bottom. What's going on there? It's a unique design. I've never really heard their gear outside of trade shows. Maybe one day I'll get a review. This was a really interesting room. This is for speakers that more blend into your home, right? Like those wide items. Those are speakers. Almost everything in this clip is a speaker, guys. They sound pretty good too. Guys, this planar speaker had bass. Lots of bass. I had to film it. Oh, this was another Unico amp. Guys, look at that thing. I didn't realize that was a Unico. It looked so aggressive. I love that. Some turntables for those that love turntables. Q Acoustic speakers. This is another Fidelity Imports room. Those stands look so awesome. If I had the floor space, I'd get a set. Oh, yeah, these amps. That's why I filmed this room. I've never seen anything like this. Just big tube monos and glass cases. This room was super clean. Just look at that layout. This is the last clip, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned. Tomorrow will be day 2.